Today, we're going to have a look at Commvault's approach that combines both data protection with security. Commvault recently had an online event that focused on the latest announcements, the latest evolution of their platform, titled Accelerating Cyber Defense and Response with Next Generation Data Protection. And for me, this really summarized what I've been hearing the journey that Commvault have been on. As ever, during this event, I created a number of tech doodles covering the key facts and my thoughts. You can check them out on techdoodles.co.uk, but we're also going to go through them on this video today. So let's get started. Let's get the first tech doodle up on screen and let's go through it. So the first section was delivered by Commvault CEO Sanjay Mirchandani. I really like him as a presenter. He brings in a lot of industry experience and thought into how he is working with Commvault to deliver that strategy. And for me, there were a number of different things that he was able to highlight. One of those was the kind of dual implications of AI that is being used by the threat actors trying to attack people. But technology such as Commvault is also using that to defend from these attackers. But it really does highlight the need for organizations to be utilizing modern approaches to protect against these threat actors. Because if the threat actors are using AI to their benefit and you're using legacy protection platforms that are pretty dumb, you're not going to have what you need to make sure that you're best protected. The next element that was highlighted for me was the data fragmentation. Due to the cloud, data is now in multiple different places. Lots of us have still got workloads on premises. We're using multi-cloud technologies, SaaS providers for many of it. And because of that, we're seeing multiple technologies being deployed to be able to protect these workloads in all of the different relevant spaces. Now, this is fantastic and it offers a point fix solution to these problems, but equally it adds a lot of complexity as to what's going on. It also offers the opportunity for there to be weaknesses introduced into that protection platform. So we really need to unify the way that we're protecting the workloads wherever they are. And this is really core to Commvault's message. And the other piece that that really resonated with me was the need for both data protection and security come together. And this is one of the areas that I do see Commvault leading. Typically, these two areas have been linked, but have been very separate, even separate teams, separate tooling there being used to protect your workloads, as well as then, if the worst does happen, allowing you to be able to recover. So we need to make sure that these are coming together, and maybe even if it isn't in the tooling, it is in the people, making sure that we're doing everything we can to proactively protect the data. But if the worst should happen, then we know that we can recover. Because at the end of the day, and as Sanjay kind of reiterated the importance, it's all about recovery when it comes to data protection. You can have the most elaborate platform to be able to protect your data, but if you're unable to recover in a swift, fast way, and a way that is reliable, then what is the point at all, really? But that wasn't where it ended, and Sanjay spoke about the number of products and announcements that were coming, but there was then a second presentation that took place by Commvault CTO David No and Michael Fazzulo, I think, from that perspective, where they dug into some of these different elements. And we broke these down in the Tech Doodle, where we spoke about all of those different ones. So first of all, we had Commvault Cloud Command. Commvault Cloud Command is a centralized dashboard providing a comprehensive overview of your entire data landscape. Not only does it bring together all of Commvault services with the health, risk, security, and recovery aspects, but it also simplifies the management and support. It's got things like predictive analysis in there. Essentially, it allows you the kind of, as Commvault put it, the control tower, the sentinel that looks over all of that data protection approach. I think it's a really important tool because even with Commvault, you've got a number of different tools, you've got a number of different ways that you are able to configure it based upon your workload, and this really unifies it and brings it together. The next update was Commvault Risk Analytics. So it uses a machine learning to be able to secure your sensitive data from cyber exposure. So it's able there to go and find and discover the different data and allow you to archive it, because if it's not being utilized, if it doesn't need to be in a production area, why not make sure that it's archived in a secure manner to really reduce the risk that is there? The next element there was what's called Commvault Threat Scan, and think of it as a digital detective that is there to check out your backup content and to find that information in there that may be corrupted, or it might be suspicious data that has been put there by a threat actor. That process ensures that you're going to get a clean recovery when you need it, and it minimizes the chance of recurring infections, because we all know that if you're in the point of having a cyber attack, maybe a ransomware attack, trying to find a good backup can be just as much as a problem as trying to get over the breach in the first point. So I think that's a really important tool. It shows one of the ways that Commvault is being proactive in its approach, not just being a dumb backup tool that is going to back up what is there, but having intelligence in it to ensure that you can really be able to recover where you need to be able to go. The next technology is Commvault Auto Recovery. Not only does it test your recovery readiness to make sure that you're going to be able to make those recoveries, but it provides forensic analysis to help you identify those clean recovery points. It is also able to do detailed forensic analysis as well to ensure that you're going to be able to do large-scale workload recoveries if a cyber attack should occur. And then finally, we've got Commvault Threatwise Advisor. And this is really good, that what it does is it analyzes the data that is in your backup, and it is able to then identify where it is able to put the sensors that will allow it to detect cyber risk is existing inside your business, where potentially there are threats. So not only are Commvault giving you the tools that allow you to be more secure, to be more safe, but they're also proactively helping you identify where to be deploying those tools. So there's a number of announcements there, a number of fantastic technologies, which really does show how Commvault are using technologies that typically we would only see in production environments with your data protection platform to ensure that your backups are correct, to ensure that your data is secure, to ensure that when you have to do a recovery, if you are in that unfortunate position, you can trust the platform has done what it needs to be able to do. So I think there's some significant advancements there. And at the end of the day, that end goal is all about proactive data protection and effective recovery when things go a little bit wrong. But that wasn't where the presentation ended. And the last and final piece, Steve Preston, who is VP of Security at Commvault, hosted a really interesting panel with a group of panelists that have held CISO positions before. Check out their details in my doodle or over on the blog. I won't go through each of them now, but they each were able to offer a slightly different perspective on what was going on. And the topics on there spanned from things like what is the critical role in the CISO today, and we had quite an interesting conversation as to the progression of the CISO role inside organizations and their responsibility as the trusted advisor to the board around risk. They were talking about today, you don't really see CISOs reporting to CEO, but that's potentially the direction it's heading, similarly to where HR professionals have been in the past, as that has progressed over the years into the position that it is today. There was a good discussion on the appetite to risk and how risk has changed since COVID with home working, with flexible working, and certainly it has introduced new challenges for CISOs, but it has also introduced new appetite for risk, where it is a managed risk, where it is a well-documented risk. There was also an interesting conversation around AI and how AI is being used. And typically they were talking about a lot of threats being delivered in via emails in the past, where maybe someone has used a phishing email to try and get people to do something. Now imagine with AI, you could actually receive a video from your manager, from your CEO, asking you to do something. Maybe it's a voicemail and it sounds like them asking them you to do something. Now, in the past, if we saw that video, we heard that voicemail, we know that was something from that individual, whereas an email, you don't always know that. But today, AI could actually be creating those videos on behalf of the threat actors to try and get you to do that thing. These challenges mean that we need to consider completely different ways of education around protecting our workloads and, importantly, ensuring that we can recover where we are needing to be able to go and do that. So there was lots of fantastic content in the online event. I urge you to go and watch it yourself, go and see what you think, share your comments below as to what do you think about Commvault's strategy. For me, it is that uniqueness of bringing together data protection and security, not just encouraging the teams to work together, but offering a tool set that is able to help both parties to ensure that you are being proactive in your data protection. But then if the need should come, you know that your data is protected. You know where that data is, irrespective of whether it's on premises or in the cloud. You know how it's protected. And to me, this is the real unique element for Commvault at the moment. So hopefully you found this video useful. I recommend subscribing to our YouTube channel, checking out techdoodles.co.uk. Hopefully we get to speak to you soon, but thank you for watching.